All right. So it looks like this is the last tour for you guys. So how's it been so far?
Oh, it's good.
The last show of this tour?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they were good. Minneapolis, especially. Milwaukee last night was really good.
Minneapolis was really fun. It had been a while since we had played there.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while we played everywhere.
That's true. But 7th Street is like, it's such an intimate place. It's so small, and when it gets packed in there, it's super fun.
Yeah,
half of the people are your friends, and it's nice.
All the shows since we came back has been better than expected, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so what events took place that pushed Bongzilla to kind of come back?
Brent moving back to Madison, probably.
Yeah,
our bass player moving home.
Cooter Brown moving back. The marijuana climate in general.
Yeah.
It seems like back in the day it was always hard to tour because we never could get enough weed or find good enough weed, maybe.
And being considered a drug band when now marijuana is like not as bad as people originally thought. So there's a little more interest in it, the culture itself, and the music that goes with it, I guess. But it's way different now. I mean, there's like,
Cooter, like when Cooter moved back to Madison and me and him started just setting up gear together and screwing around, and that kind of propelled us, or me personally, to want to do it more. And then once we started doing it, Bonzo always feels good when you're playing it. That's like the super beautiful part about it,
Yeah.
So that part makes it easy,
So what bands do you think helped keep Stoner Sludge going while you guys were on your hiatus?
Sleep, High on Fire.
Well, but they weren't. I mean, High on Fire was playing. You're saying bands that were playing. Low Pan comes to mind. Wolfat, Elder. I've been way digging on.
Yeah. They were here with Moss Generator earlier in the year.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Black Cobra, we're about to do a tour with them, and even to like Torch and
Karma to Burn.
Zoroaster was playing Black Tusk, Weed Eater, our brothers never really stopped. So I mean, there's been a lot I think that, speaking of the last question, that's probably why too, is the music itself is bigger than it ever was.
That's really
there's definitely increasing popularity, which is good. But you also,
it's like the second time around, there's way more people are into it.
You go to some cities and it is cool to have a beard, a blend haircut, and listen to Electric Wizard,
and have a pocket full of bud.
And they're tight. I think jeans.
The people that want to be hipsters, as far as like being a hipster to a weed culture, is if you ain't smoking pot, everyone's gonna know you're not.
I guess what I'm speaking to is I've met kids in Madison that are into Electric Wizard but don't know who Wino is, which is a very sad, freaky, or love Paul Bearer but don't know anybody but Paul Bearer and Electric Wizard, and you're like,
I feel a lot of people
Mastodon.
Foolishly worship at the altar of Electric Wizard, don't even know who Reverend Bizarre is,
Original Doom,
or Cathedral, or
Winter, or
right,
Trouble, or more from where we grew up,
right. So you guys been doing a little bit of touring. Is there any album in the works?
I think there's going to be an album.
We got some riffs.
I would say
we play around with.
Yeah, we've been, I would almost guarantee it. You never know. It's like us putting out a record is sometimes like scoring a bag of weed. You don't know you don't know you got it till you get it.
Yeah.
But definitely we're growing ideas, I guess.
For sure.
Okay. Any chance you guys would be interested in working with Dixie Dave in the future?
I mean, working.
We already did.
Yeah, I would say
he plays bass on the last record.
Yeah,
Marijuana Kid.
I would say to do something. We've always talked about doing Weed Eater Bongzilla band together, like Weed Bong or Zilla Eater.
Bong Eater.
Yeah, I got Bong. But
really.
You know, in some capacity, I would say. I mean, he was on samples on Gateway. The Stone of Pig sample is him.
And we play together. Like, we still match up once or twice a year. We cross paths.
But I think as a bass player, if that's what you're asking, I'm going to say
no. He could be involved in like another element.
Cooter Brown's
Brent's the man.
Yeah. And that I mean, I don't think I would have ever did it if it wasn't for him. So.
Yeah.
He just wasn't around for a while, but when he moved back home, that was like, I'd say that was like 70% of it. And then actually, that people were still interested again in that. I had me personally, I didn't have any idea that kids were still like rocking to whatever you want to call it, stoner rock or doom metal or sludgecore or whatever. People still like to play like riffy stuff, low and slow, and kids still listen to it.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about pot.
Yeah, I like
it. Go.
How much do you guys smoke in a day?
Probably half.
On tour or in my personal life?
Regular, everyday.
If I'm sitting, well, I'll first state
that's weird because it's really different.
I'll first state, I think I smoke a lot more than most of the guys in this band at home. But
for sure.
I'll point out that I never stopped smoking, or I didn't smoke less or more when Bongzilla didn't play, because this is life to me. Right. This isn't, that's like, so, but to really answer your question, I guess if I'm at home, I would probably smoke in 2 days an eighth in a gram of shatter, dabs, concentrate.
But as a band, we will smoke a half ounce.
But on the road,
smoke a half ounce.
On the road, we're on our rider these days. We try to get a quarter every show. It works out, good amount of time, and then you kind of build it up a little bit. But and people bring us weed. A dude brought us a half ounce in Minneapolis of killer weed.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was super cool.
But we rolled it all up into joints.
No, he did. He did what I would have did to him.
Oh yeah.
Like if I was going to see Bonzo, I'd bring the biggest sack ever. But then I would try to proceed to smoke it on.
To get
and that's what he did.
And he did.
Oh my God, rolling. He would just roll fat. It was great because But I would say Mike's right. A half ounce of weed. When the first day we started, we smoked in the van in a. We played Chicago in a 3-hour drive. We probably smoked a gram and a half of shatter. Just that 3-hour drive.
Which slows down the weed smoking because you're like super high and it's like a different.
But it's
for me, it's way different.
It's so different.
And then, but if you don't have that, and we're just smoking straight. Like we could burn a half in 8 hours. Like no problem.
And God forbid we don't have a pipe and we're rolling joints.
Oh, we get because it's you're gonna be wasteful, but you still have to smoke a lot anyway. So off you go.
And we have dumb rules like which this is the stupidest rule any band
come up with reasons to smoke other than just
if you cross a state line,
you gotta
smoke. If you stop and somebody eats, I mean a cookie. Like, Mike got a cookie.
Everyone had a meal. I guess we should smoke.
Because eating slow lowers your buzz.
I found a peanut on the floor.
Highway change, smoke. Somebody just woke up, smoke.
Yeah. Someone was asleep and missed the last 2 sessions. Now we smoke on their behalf.
Oh, right, yeah. Well.
Mike didn't get the text at the show last night, so we had to have a whole
Someone got ordered a slice of pizza. We should probably smoke.
We ordered another pizza.
Yeah. Or we ordered more because of that, so now we should smoke again.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt. Did you bring weed? Since everybody's here, we should smoke one.
Yeah, we should.
Did you bring
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you have it on you?
Yeah.
Can I pack one? Is that crazy?
Jay ran out with our fucking bag of fucking
He ran out with the Tupperware?
Yeah, and he came out. We thought he was here. Like, going to help you with the interview.
Here. It's not a whole lot, but...
Oh, no. One bowl will get us through this interview.
That's
this
pretty
is
good shit.
Spanky and Cooter.
Hey, how's it going, Melissa?
Melissa, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Melissa has a...
Doomed and Stoned. You must have read
Doomed and Stoned.
You've read shit on
I like it on Facebook.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man.
Okay, so where were we at?
All right, so, you guys into, edibles and wax and stuff?
God, yeah. God, yeah.
Spanky has a great airport story about edibles.
When we were flying, this is a pretty good story. I would just get tons of edibles because I don't like flying. I hate it, actually.
Right.
I don't hate it, but I just, about 2 hours in, it's super uncomfortable to me. But, so I'll get these guys just tons of edibles. I'll carry liquid on or like out in Seattle, we got candies. You know, just put them in a regular candy tin.
Oh, see, where you guys are from, it's legal, right?
No, not in Madison.
Oh,
but it's weird. It's weird. You can carry a quarter-pound of pot on you, and you'll get a fine and it's confiscated. But
they don't arrest you.
I think the last time I saw it was
like a Class C
$140.
Well, I mean, that's
like
progress, though. You know, I mean, that's progress.
Your job.
Locking up people that smoke pot's like completely.
It's waste of
anti-American.
money. That's why they're making the jails privatized so they can make money off them. So putting pot users in jail is worth it.
It'd be like putting someone in jail for not wearing a helmet when they ride their bike. It's like, well, it's unsafe.
But it's on
you,
them.
Like,
it's not hurting anybody else.
You're only gonna hurt yourself when you fucking ride into a retaining wall.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's cool. I was just speaking to how pot was at such a level forever, and it was legalized in Canada and Europe or Holland, and the levels of THC stayed at like between 13 and 20 for strong weeds, and then suddenly it was legalized in the U.S. and it's 25, 28. There's a strain called Cactus that's 36, you know, percentage of THC, and now. There was honey oil and stuff, but there was no such thing as dabs that are 60 to 80% pure THC.
Yeah,
I mean, Americans just want to go,
they just,
you know, and make it so pure. I want to make it the pure. If they could make THC snortable, you know we would be snorting it.
Right.
You know, make it into the white man's white powder, THC powder. Get some.
Yeah, the shatter. Which still blows my mind. It's just way too high in another direction. I forget, like I lose.
Will you just hold
You'll be in the middle of a task, and there's just no way you'll even know what.
But then you'll run into Girl Scout cookie, and it'll just take it over, or Cactus will interrupt.
But then, smoking a really good sativa does snap you back pretty quick.
I mean, it's all cumulative with marijuana. That's what's good too. It's you're layering a buzz to get a super double Supremo buzz.
The giggling, drooling idiot.
Yeah.
And then you're fine.
Well, we call it cheesing. Maybe because we're from Wisconsin. But when you can't stop giggling.
Oh, we call it cheesing.
Yeah.
We say that here.
Cheesing.
Yeah.
Fucking cheesing.
Cheesing. All right, so how does pot affect you guys, like in a live setting? Do you like get a little more like in the improvising?
What was the question?
Yeah, I mean,
does pot affect you in a live setting? Does it make you want to like improv more or like things like that?
I think so.
I think it opens up your mind a little more to like receiving like.
I think that's where those weird. I don't even know what to call them. Those weird little.
Those nuances that become.
Well, no, what we do in songs that not most bands don't do, like the volume swell ending in Stone a Pig, or the one note hang in Grim Reefer. That to me, it's like
those little nuances.
Oh, what a good time to pull out my bong.
Dramatic parts
I call
and
bong
dynamics.
Yeah.
Really, you become maybe hyper in tune to them, and really kind of try to like, really accentuate that.
Right.
You know, the drama and dynamics of a riff. So it's just
quiet as possible and loud as possible.
And it's fun. That's the only reason to do it. Right? It's fucking fun.
But for sure. I think
it ups the fun for playing music for me.
Yeah.
All right. What are your thoughts on the vinyl resurgence? Seeing a lot of bands like reissuing.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I would rather listen to records on vinyl for sure. It's how it was meant, I think. Yeah. I mean,
it's warmer,
music's a wave, right? And no matter how small you make those little peaks and
steps, they're not true waves
still
anymore.
Steps.
Right.
It's a representation of.
And to say the human ear hears it or not,
you can though. Neil Young would tell you can hear it clear as day.
But yeah, I like it. I think it's the way music was more intended maybe to be listened to than digital. Right. Everything has to be digital now.
Well, it's just more normal.
I think it's crazy that
kids
will buy records.
Not digital. I'm saying analog is more. It's just more natural.
Right.
Kids will buy records and never open them and get the download, or open them to get the download code, and never play the record.
And just keep it in plastic.
Yeah, because that's what you do. You collect records. You know?
Where about us, it was about, a lot of your records would be scratched up because you listen to them over and over. That was how you listen to music.
Well, plus, what does I Hate God sound like on 78? Or Grief on 78?
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
7 inches are great.
Yeah, I do.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I love, yeah. So what's going on musically is cool, minus not being able to sell records, I think. People are going to shows a lot more. Shows are bigger in general.
People are getting into rock and roll again.
Yeah. We got to finish it.
Smoke up, Johnny.
Yeah, so I'm down with the vinyl. I know Cooter's down with the vinyl too. I can hold
vinyl rules.
I can hold a grinder.
It makes you attentive and makes you play.
They can't see what this is. It's a grinder.
Vinyl makes you attentive and makes you play.
I would advise grinders.
It's a hands-on music, like where
and the artwork, right?
Right.
Or even cassettes. Like people bring back cassettes. You have to commit to a size.
Even 7-inch artwork. Remember?
Remember
Beers and Cows, Die Kreuzen?
Guess what? Like, oh fuck.
The upside down Die Kreuzen cross.
Yeah.
Cows and Beers. The 7-inch, and you pull out the artwork, and it's an upside down cross. This great band from Milwaukee called Die Kreuzen.
Yeah, so it's a very tangible, hands-on thing, which is nice. It's like getting back to music and like, wow, check out the artwork and making the spread.
Yeah, I always hated cassettes, especially.
Yeah.
With CDs, I was always like, the ones that people had like a poster in there. I was like, okay, cool, but I can never get it back in there again.
Everybody puts their vinyl away. You put your vinyl away, but you don't put your.
And then there's all the weird folding and CD cases.
It's just a more organic medium.
Yeah, I agree.
Having vinyl and stuff.
Back in the day, you needed a gatefold to break up pot. Yeah. When I first started smoking,
you can clean your
busted
you can clean your lid out on the record on the vinyl. Your weed would stick to the grooves, and your seeds would roll off, and then you put it in your gatefold, and you can just.
Oh no, I used the gatefold. I never put weed on a record.
Oh, you never tried it on the record?
I would have to not want to play the record.
All the grass sticks, no, and then you knock it off.
Yeah, from static, I know. That's a good move.
It is a good move.
Static electricity. All right, I think we're tangenting.
All right. So what's next for Bongzilla?
I think we're gonna take a month off. I guess it'll turn out to be, and then we go out for a really big tour at the end of February. It starts, and it's. I think from what I know right now, it's us, Black Cobra, Kings Destroy, Low Pan, and
then the other half is with Against the Grain. And
Against the Grain jumps on, and what band drops off?
Oh, I think Kings Destroy does.
Yeah, Kings Destroy
drops off.
So
and then we pick up.
And I think we're in that month. I think we're going to try to work on songs, new stuff.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Right on.
I think that's the plan.
Super tough.
I'm just walking around. I'm so
happy. I want
happy.
to thank you for talking with
Thank
me,
you.
Stone. Do you have any last words?
Smoke grass.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Grass.
Vote to
Legalize
smoke to vote.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Thanks a lot, you
Vote
guys.
to smoke and smoke when